Hey, you guys, we are back to do another review of Love and Marriage Huntsville. So they doing a Blaque Expo, but it had a little low vibration in it, so we're gonna talk about it. Stay tuned.
We keep it real, expressing how we feel. Whoa, so come on in and feel some tea. Join the Courtney family. We're about relationships and review, making it fun just for you. So go and God, let God go with you. It's time for Courtney and Eddie.
I always put God first. What's going on, co-ed Kim folks? How y'all doing today? Welcome back to another video of Courtney and Eddie. I'm Eddie, aka E-Dub. This is my lovely wife right here.
Courtney, also known as Coco.
This right here is Courtney and Eddie. This channel is all about relationships. It's all about reviews. It's all about entertainment. And it's also all about our famous rants. And tonight, we're going to be talking about, what? Love and Marriage Huntsville.
Yep.
It's a pretty good episode tonight.
So if you're brand new to this channel, you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. We like to have fun, try to have fun. Wish we could have more fun over here, but go ahead and subscribe.
But what?
Yeah, they know the buts. All right, so let's just go ahead and get into this review. Entities that we wanted to represent the black, even though it's spelled like black, not they black, but I black. Represent black, so we went our black tees, black and bougie, and black what? Excellence. So you can find this on our website, which you should see around this video. Coedwear.com. That's where you can go purchase. All right, you guys. So let's just go ahead and get into it. Oh. I like to say this on every video. Don't forget that we have our own dating show, or whatever you want to call it.
Call it a show?
I don't know. What do you want to call it?
NBC, what? Oh, I don't see no NBC cameras nowhere.
What you think this is? A camera.
That's an iPhone.
It's a camera that gets on
I'm trying to say, I don't see the production and producers and directors and
that would be me.
Assistants and all that. You know, I need an assistant to go give me some coffee. I don't have that.
Oh yeah, you don't need that. You don't need it. So, but yeah, so we have a dating virtual single and available virtual mixer. So yeah, you should see the flyer posted on our YouTube community tab, and it kind of gives you, we'll just give you what I just said. But how you can apply will be going out sometime this week. So how you can apply, be a part of this, because it's for an elite group of people. Let me tell you that, honey. It ain't gonna be for no everybody. So yeah, and then if you are chosen, then you can actually be a part of the mixer virtually and go from there.
Yes. If you need love, or if you want love, sign up for the mixer and available. I screwed that up. It's single and available, man.
Yeah,
don't even know my own show.
Listen. But if you're a millimeter, it's on there. It says if you're a millimeter and you choose yes, you're already disqualified. Just playing.
Even millimeters are invited to come. You know, if you're single and if you're available,
and if you're healed. Hello, somebody.
And if you're not in your mama's basement, Mama, they talk about mail again. Send me some of the yoo-hoos. All
right, so let's go ahead and get into it. So it starts out with Kimmi and Kiuwha, kind of like a to be continued, having a conversation where they just basically sit down, and Kimmi was saying that basically Kiuwha, it was a lack of integrity because you said kinda that I was a side chick and you didn't stop, you didn't stop the allegations or everything. Well, before that, she was just saying you didn't stop, the people saying this narrative about me that was not true. Kyle was like, I have no control over what people say and what they do. Yeah, but you kind of egged it on by kind of saying I was a side chick. And listen, just like Maurice want to protect Maurice Jr. from, any kind of backlash and all that stuff, I wanted to protect my son too, and didn't want that out there to make it seem like I was somebody's side chick, I stole somebody's man and all that stuff. And I felt like I took the whole brunt of everything.
Yeah, I can kind of understand what Kimmi was saying. And, me personally, I think Kyle was doing it in a roundabout way, throwing, shade towards Kimmi because she was still hurt and she still had animosity towards Kimmi. But she didn't put her, you know how you come out direct with it. She didn't come out direct with it. She came out indirect with it. So she used other people to put that nonsense out there. But to me, I seem like they kind of moved on from that. They're not best friends or nothing like that. Don't get it wrong. They're cordial.
More cordial.
Yeah, they can get along. They can be in the same room with one another. So that's a start.
Yeah, and Kiuwha didn't really apologize per se. She said that she didn't know that Kimmi felt that way. She didn't know all of that stuff that was going on. And Kiuwha said that, sometimes it takes growth. I think she was saying over the years she has grown and she's gotten better. So she never said, and she's saying it now, that I never said Kimmi was a side chick. She kind of cleared that up right there. And everything. So
I think they got on a good foot, man.
Yeah.
I think they're in a good mind space right now.
Yeah. Kimmi said that, sometimes people say if, in her confession, they apologize if they said something, if they, and with that, you just have to take it for what it is.
Kimmi know deep down inside that's the best it's gonna get.
Yeah.
And just keep it moving.
All right, so let's move on with Stormi pulling up in her what, baby?
I thought it was a Bentley, but it was a Rolls.
Oh, Rolls Royce.
Yeah. And Mel pulled up in her what?
G-Wagon.
But Stormi had her driver let her out her car and hold the door open for her and let her out so she can go inside this what?
Coffee shop.
It was a coffee shop? I thought it was like a theater or something, some kind of classic theater.
I don't know, child, to go into the little, I ain't gonna say regular because I don't know them folks, but just pull up in the coffee shop.
Like I said, I think the reason why Stormi pulled up in that car, it was a power play. It showed, hey, Mel, I'm still on a level that you're not on yet because I have a driver that drove me to a coffee shop. You had to drive your own self to a coffee shop. It's a psychological mind game Stormi was playing.
I think it was a bit much to pull up and have a conversation at a little rinky-dink coffee shop.
But it's not about to pull up in the coffee shop. It's the mind game Stormi is playing. You driving yourself around. I got a driver. Do you got a driver? Do you have a driver? No, I don't have a driver. You don't have a driver.
I got one of you.
You can
ball cap on and everything.
You can play every time I drive though.
Well, I don't got to like the driver, but I got one.
So you put your life in your driver's hand, right?
So I put it in the hands of Jesus. But yeah, so I just thought it was a bit much. She came in there with her all white dress up. I was like, did she have somewhere else to go? Did she say, okay, I'm gonna stop here and then I got somewhere else to go?
That's a good point. She could have somewhere else to go.
So it was a bit much. But anyways, let's get into it.
I still think it was a mind game.
But we said
power play.
We said we think we may know
that
who the people's is.
I ain't gonna know. Why you gonna try to bust Stormi bubble like that?
We think we may have know who them people is and stuff. Okay, because that car looks familiar. But anyway, let's get into it. All right, so she pull up and everything, and she want to have a conversation. Chad, can we not have no more conversations? We don't need no more conversations over stuff that just is not gonna work. Okay?
You gotta understand, Mel has to film. She ain't got nobody to film with. Miss Nell has something else to do that day. So say, hey, Stormi, we need you to film with Mel. And after you film with Mel, we can call it a day for Mel. That was the only scene Mel was in this episode, was it not?
I guess. Yeah. So, but like, child, listen, let me go talk to the birds, the animals.
Oh, yeah. Let me get it. So you're saying if you was the producer, you would say, Mel, here goes some breadcrumbs. Go for the bench.
Go feed the ducks.
Feed the ducks. That's what you're trying to say? And you film her feeding the ducks.
But I don't want no more forced conversations about, hey, we need to figure out blah, blah, blah. No, let's not do it. Let's not do it.
There you go, Mel.
So yeah, they sit up there and have this forced conversation. Stormi went straight into it from what we see and said, listen, Mel, basically you avoid the hard conversations. And Mel said that's not true because if so, I would not be here and I would not have invited, well, I didn't invite your mama, but I would have, I guess in a sense, because she did invite Stormi and Mama to come. Stormi had a +1.
Yeah, but hey, you said everybody can bring a +1.
Yeah.
So
and I basically wouldn't have, answered the conversation that your mama said at the tea or whatever. And Mel was asking the question, did you know how your mama felt about me like before, like in the beginning and stuff. And Stormy just said that, listen, my mama don't like nobody. Unless you can make her walls come down, prove yourself to, ain't nobody finna prove yourself to no grown woman that's your mama. And so she was saying, unless you can make her walls come down and stuff like that, she didn't like my husband. She didn't like this. She didn't like that. And honey, we see she don't like her own sister, honey, nor her nephew. Child, who is she gonna have, child? I know she ain't got no man because she don't like him either. So yeah, and but Mel said she don't feel that Stormy feels the way her mom feels, but she do want to know that, you know, is there some kind to, because sometimes the mom can have what influence over a person, and so she want to know, you know, I don't have time to deal with nobody mama son. I had to deal with Tisha mama, and now I'm gonna deal with your mom, and I'm just tired of the mama drama. So I'm just trying to see, is do your mom have influence over how she feels about me to you? And Storm was like, nah, she don't. But anyway, what else, baby?
That's it.
Okay. But Storm want to get back to the point that, you know, okay, I know we fell off, you know, because I guess Storm had to go in the DM to tell me, hey, girl, can we have a conversation? She said, yeah, girl, went down in the DM because you ain't got my phone number no more. So she said, you know, it seems like you fell off, and I'm just trying to get back to a place where, you know, we can be, you know, like we used to be. And in Stormy conversation, she was like, you know, Mel be gaslighting me and stuff like that. Child, I know that this girl does not want to talk about the real issue, which in my mind, I think the real issue is that Stormy is now friends with other people. And I think that's the whole thing. You know, Stormy not like, you know, her bestie. She just kind of revamped. She just kind of, you know, moved and started mingling with everybody. And I think Mel had a problem with that. Anything? Be careful, because you know that mic, child. When I was watching the other video back, honey, it be rustling on stuff, moving on your beard. All right, so let's move on to Tisha and Marsau meet up at Blaque's. You can talk about that.
I can't? Really? Say what? I can talk, y'all? Okay.
You see how petty you are, because you know how many times I said, you got anything you want to say no? You got anything you want to say no? You got anything you want to say no?
Yeah, because you said everything. Anywho.
Well, normally you come in and still put your spin on it. You know, you don't have to, because I said everything.
I don't want people to say I'm trying to cut you off.
You think we care what these people say? They've been saying stuff since we've been doing this.
I was just trying to do a new strategy. It
ain't working. Let's go.
Anybody just been letting you say your piece, and I'll wait till you get through, then I'll say something. But, you know, by the time you get through saying everything, you said everything. So, but anywho. It's my time to shine. Can I live up to the pressure? All right. Yeah, so Tisha walks in, and, you know, they go to the event center. She, you know, renting out for the Blaque Expo. So she walks in, and Marsau walks in. I think they walked in together. And Kimmi walks in. Then Martell walks in. Then Maurice walks in. But anyway, so Tisha was talking, you know, explaining to them about the event and the event center and whatnot. And as she was talking to the group, Martell like, dang, T, I see somebody been working out. And Marsau said, why you look at my woman body like that? He said, no, I ain't like that. You know, we cool like that. But, you know, I'm just saying, she working out and you working out. You lost some weight too, Marsau. But he tried to play it off when he said something about Marsau losing weight. But I can hear it in the comments like I told my wife here. When Martell said something about Tisha body. I told you can't trust Martell. Now he trying to hit on T. He trying to hit on T now. Marsau, you better watch Martell. But no, man, he just getting, you know, she came in there with the, you know, with the outfit on and everything, you know. Even when Stormi and Courtney walked in, Stormi said something about it. It's kind of hard to concentrate what Tisha was talking about because everybody was looking at her booty.
Well, I think that Stormi said something, but not her husband.
That's what I said, Stormi. I said Stormi.
I'm just saying it's a difference when a woman says something versus a man.
Yeah. Stormi.
I think that if Martell would have said something in the front, he waited till he seen her hand paws.
But he had
the hand paws in order for him to say that.
But he got to see the whole body to see what's going on. You can't see the front part. You got to see the whole body.
He said he was talking about her front. He was talking about how she done lost weight.
Her stomach, right? That's what he was talking about, her stomach front, right? But you can't tell by the stomach front until you look at the back part.
Lies, you tell. What are you talking about? You looking at the stomach, not the brain.
He said the overall body, though.
All right, let's go. Finish.
Then Marsau said, "Man, don't be looking at my wife like that." He said, "No, man. I'm just saying, she got, she been working out. You can tell she been working out. She toned up."
Okay, we passed that. What else you finna say?
Then so they I'm sorry. Then so Tisha said, Mel's not gonna be part of the Blaque Expo, so that's why she invited Courtney and Stormi. So when Stormi walked in, so Stormi said she asked Tisha what the expo was all about. So Tisha kind of gave her the explanation of what was gonna happen at the expo. And Stormi said, "Yeah, I love doing stuff like this." So they did the little Stormi. I mean, they did the little somewhat comeback group hug and power up or whatever you want to call it. And so Stormi, they invited Stormi into the group. So Martell, being shady, what you say? Well, Stormi, you here to replace Mel. And Tisha said, no, that's not what it is. I ain't say that. You're not here to replace Mel, but I'm glad to have you.
Martell also said that he's very disappointed that Mel could not put their differences aside to come and do some stuff for the community. Now, in my opinion, is I would not want to be around Martell either at that time if they got caught, and they tracking each other, everything they do, all that stuff. So I don't blame Mel for not wanting to be in that space. Even though when Tisha was talking to her, she didn't just say it was about Martell. I think it's about the group as a whole. Remember, going back.
Tisha said that though.
Yeah, I know, but Martell took it as, it's about me. It wasn't just about you.
No.
But yeah, going back, like she said, heck, look at the reunion they just not too had a few months ago and what space they was in. So it's gonna take Mel, I guess, some time to come back to get back to that.
I think Mel she did the right thing by walking away from the whole situation because she's not ready to be in that environment right now. And that environment is still fresh from what happened, and especially.
Did you say no? You was disagreeing with me?
No, agreeing with you. I was saying no. She shouldn't be back in that group. You know what I'm saying?
Because sometimes your nose means yes.
No. I mean no, because you're right. No, she shouldn't be back in that group. Like you said, also. Y'all still going through. Y'all just got a court, and it was nasty.
Right.
It was nasty. So of course you're gonna have some resentment towards Martell for him dragging her to court. But Martell, since he basically, I don't know, did he win the case? Did the judge rule in his favor? But I think from the last episode,
he said it was a victory for him, but we don't know what that victory was.
But okay, so if it was a victory for him, so of course he's gonna feel better about being around. Right, you know what I'm saying?
True. All right, so in the next scene, and then they all walk out fascinated by Tisha Buddha. I would be so embarrassed. I would just be. I don't like that type of attention. So I mean,
she got the body.
But Tisha has always had a nice body. You know what I'm saying? So but it is what it is. Miss Wanda, like they got good
they got good genes.
They really do
when it comes to their bodies.
Yeah, they bodies and they skin.
Yeah,
they just beautiful women.
Yeah.
And Kiki too.
Here we go in the comments now. Go ahead.
So anyway, so let's move on. So you got Maurice, and Maurice Jr.
This scene right here reminds me of the time when me and my dad went to play basketball. That's what I liked about this scene. When I saw it, I thought, man, I remember the time me and my dad used to go to the basketball court and play ball. And to me, when you do that with your son, it's a great bonding moment. You know what I'm saying? You can get to know it's all about bonding. And Maurice, bro, Brick City, Air City. God, man,
he was doing good in the beginning.
No, he wasn't. He hit one shot.
Well, he got 2 points up there.
Yeah, one shot. One shot is 2 points. Oh. Yeah. And I said, golly, bro. You gonna let them air that on TV? I'm talking about Brick City. He missed the goal all completely, man. Air balls. I said, man.
He shouldn't have had on that blue and orange.
You know how
he shouldn't have had that on.
You know how some people be dressing
like they finna go.
Yeah, like they about to go in hard, and they can't play rough a crap.
He was just dressed. It was just about his outfit. That's all it was about his outfit.
As long as I look good, Lucas, that's all that matters. Yeah, man.
Go ahead.
But yeah, so they was talking, and Maurice Jr., man, he wore his dad out and he blew him out. But anyway, and so Maurice was like telling Maurice Jr. say, man, I know in the confession, which I do the same thing. Even though you're supposed to be having fun with your child, if you see potential in that child, even though it's supposed to be a good outing, a good fun outing, you're gonna do some lecturing. I do it all the time when I shouldn't do it, but I do. And I understand why Maurice does what he does when he do that. So he was just saying, I grew up a different way than you growing up. And I can't use my parenting skill as my parent used on me the way I grew up on you because you growing up totally different. When I grew up, this is what Maurice saying. I grew up, I had to have 2 or 3 jobs at your age. So Marcel had 3 jobs at your age. You don't have to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to have to change my mindset on parenting, how to parent you because you didn't grow up like me. And he said, don't be afraid to come to me and talk to me. You got anything you want to say, just say it. I know the reason why you don't say it because you think I'm going to be shouting and fussing at you, man. But just say, man, I'm not going to receive it the way I'm not gonna receive it that way if you're gonna shout and fuss at me. That means, Maurice gonna have to sit back and reevaluate how to talk to the son so he can receive it. So to me, I thought that was a good scene. I thought it was a slight breakthrough on both of them. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was a good scene, a good father and son scene.
Yep.
And I actually saw Maurice Jr. smile once again after they had that talk.
So let's move on to Courtney going to his pretty mama house. Now that's her name. Forget her name, but she's pretty and she's young looking. I said, okay.
We're gonna call it PM.
Yeah, PM, pretty mama, pretty mama. So anyway, so he was just because I was like, okay, now the mamas, they gonna get you until y'all start hating and saying, get off of here. So
I don't see how you can hate on his mama right now.
Right? She just saying,
she talks intelligent. And she looks nice, and she looks young, man.
Yeah, she really do. So anyway, but Mama said y'all won't catch her slipping, so she gonna get that hair fixed and that makeup done. Put on her little shirt, honey, cause I seen a little. She got a little tug, push it down. Oh, hey, baby. So yeah, so evidently she stayed kind of close. He took that what is it? Zip tie was what I finna say. That thing with slingshot.
No,
is that what it called?
That's not slingshot.
Okay, what is it?
I don't know what you call those. You got 2 wheels in the front, 1 in the back.
2-wheeler? 3-wheeler?
3-wheeler, but yeah, I think it's a 3-wheeler.
Is it? So anyway, I was wondering.
Y'all from the country, y'all know that.
We don't have dirt roads that we ride on in the dirt on cars.
In our neighborhood, they have golf carts.
They do.
Golf carts driving around.
So anyway, so Courtney is going to, his pretty mama house and, have a conversation, and so he started talking about that Storm want another baby, and basically, I didn't know where he came up with this single mom, single dad, and stuff like that. He said, I ain't saying we're gonna ever get divorced, but I just don't want to have my children out there without being raised, by a single parent. Go ahead. What you finna say?
No, I think, just seeing shows me that Courtney still has some abandonment issues with his dad and some trauma. And I get it, brother. I do. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, I've been blessed to have a father figure in my life that's, I spent a lot of time with and, did things with me and whatnot. And yeah, for a young boy, young man, boy, whatever you want to say, having his father figure around means a lot, man. It really does. Yeah. Because it was a different contrast when you saw the scene with Maurice and Maurice Jr. playing basketball. To the next scene, you see Courtney, kind of like feeling bad for himself because his dad wasn't around.
Right. Well, that was a good segue how they did both of them together. So yeah, and he's saying so his mama asks, is that the reason why you don't want to have another child? Because you didn't grow up with your father, and I see how you are with Chase. And so, he kind of breaks down and cry and say, child, honey, him break down, I almost broke down. So he was just saying that he wished his dad could have
been around.
Yeah, seeing him.
Yeah, because he said his dad missed a lot.
Yeah, he said he felt like he missed everything. Yeah. We know now that he has passed away, but evidently he was not in his life like he should have been when he was alive. So yeah, but yeah, that was a moment. Something that his mama did say was very profound that I've never really thought about it like this.
You talking about the siblings?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you have siblings, I've seen it myself. When siblings have the big age gap in between them, they're really not that close. You know what I'm saying? As brothers or sisters or whatnot. But when you have siblings that's basically grouped together in a certain age group, most likely, I'm not saying all the time, but most likely,
keep your mic.
Okay, most likely they're close.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They have some kind of connection there.
So I know, like, me and my brother are like 2 years apart, and his kids are like, he has a son and a daughter, and they may be like 2 years apart, and then my kids are like 2.5 years apart. It's just so weird, you know what I'm saying? So I know my mama, she has a brother. I don't know how they may not. I'm not sure how far distance apart, but I do. Even though I wasn't like expecting to have a second child so soon, I'm glad I did because they grew up together. Like they was close.
Yeah, it sucks being the only child, and I can say that because my daughter, she's the only child for me. Yeah, they get spoiled.
But you had your sibling, like what? What was the next one? Age?
Me, my brother was like 6 or 7 years apart, and him and my sister like 4 years apart. And
so it was a big age gap.
Yeah, but it's not big enough because when I say age gap, I'm talking about like 15 years apart. You know what I'm saying? Because some people I know have a child, the brother's 15 and the little brother's 2 years old. You know what I'm saying? So me and my brothers, me and my siblings are pretty close. So yeah.
So anyway, I thought that was very profound. And so basically she was saying, child, you're gonna have another child, hurry up because before Chase get too much older. And so anyway, that was a touching scene. We got to see a little bit of who Courtney is and his background and stuff. So let's move on to where now they in Blacks and they get ready to set up. So they setting up. Well, first of all, Stormi said she's gonna come early because she want to get everything done, and her staff and Courtney are trying to package up some stuff for a vendor. They got to have this stuff by 10 o'clock in New York. That stuff got to be sent to New York. So she's stressing out her mother-in-law because you said, "Who's that? A friend?"
Yeah, I said, "Who's that?" She got another friend on the show. Turns out it was Courtney's mom with her hair all pent up and it looked, okay, I hear you, I see. Looking all young. All right then.
And
PM.
So anyway, so she's setting up everything. She's just getting nervous. Her mother-in-law was like, you know what? I think her name was Sandy, but Sandra, something like that. I was trying to see the name. So she was saying, it's gonna be okay. They gonna handle it over there. You just focus over here. I know you can't. Sometimes we feel like we can be in other places, or we want to make sure that they handle it because we feel like they can't, but they got it. You just focus over here. And so she's like, I should have never did this. I should be over there with them or whatever. So anyway, Tisha come in and she talked to her PR person and publicist, and she was just telling her, the publicist was telling her everything that was going on, and she was saying what they got too many vendors.
Yeah, it was like some more vendors called in at the last minute, and the publicist said she couldn't say no to them, so she said she took them in, and T was saying, well, next time you should have said no, basically, because if you say no this time, the next time we have one, they're gonna rush to get it so they can be, first in line to have a spot.
Right.
Which I said, well, that's a good idea.
Come on, business woman.
And it's cause you get everybody in at one time. This is the next one you have. Somebody they might not show up.
Yeah.
But if you do it this way, you tell them no this time, they're gonna most definitely try to make it the second time. So yeah, that was pretty good.
Teacher said, I see that Stormi done took over that back corner, child. So anyway, so she went over there and started talking to Stormi. And Stormi said, well, teacher was like, oh, this a lie. She said, easy. So she said, but, I did notice that y'all didn't give me a dimension as far as how much space I had. So
yeah, see that now. That's where I think T and Marsau dropped the ball at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you're going to have a event like this, you got to let the venues know what they need to have,
right.
If it's going to be a table or what kind of space they're going to have, how much money you got to charge them. You got to let these people know all of this up front.
Yeah.
And that's why I think they dropped the ball there.
you know, when I've been a vendor in different spaces or events or whatever, and you know, they'll tell you, okay, you as a vendor, you got one table, you can have one table and 2 chairs. You know what I'm saying? If you needed more, you would have to pay for more. But yeah, they'll tell you that pretty much, you know, you got, you know, and you know you ain't working with. If you just got this one table like we got here, you know, all this, your room, you ain't working with too much more than that because you can't be having all of that space. So, yeah.
We can't blame Stormi for this, man.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't tell Stormi the rules.
Right. So Marsau coming in, honey, doing everything, directing here, there, and everywhere. And he was like, okay, Stormi got a lot of stuff going on back there. You know what I'm saying? T, did you get her money? She said, what money?
Yeah, T said, I want no parts of that. What money are you talking about?
We said the money for the rent, the vendor space, like the money. And she was like, well, Blaque, Chocolate and the Ball ain't paying for no space. He said, we pay for all of this. So, okay, this me. Help me understand. But if you're a part of the core, if you're a part of this, you know what I'm saying, part of this, even though she's not a part of the comeback group,
but she's part of this.
But she was
expo.
there.
She was part of this expo.
She was there and said, "Okay, this is the rental space." Okay, they invited her there to be a part of all this stuff. Why in the heck she got to pay that anyway? That should be for the rest of the vendors,
right?
You know, she a part of even the TV cast.
Yeah. Marsau was in my personal opinion. Marsau was dead wrong for this, in my opinion.
No vibration.
Like I said, you know, you hit it right in the head. You know, they invited Stormi in there,
right?
Okay, and she was the part of the core group of this expo,
right?
So she shouldn't have to pay.
Yeah.
On top of that, if she did have to pay, you should have said something right then and right there before she set up. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I
think Marsau seen all that space
that's
she got
exactly
back there.
Exactly.
And he was like, ooh, child, I know about 2-3 more other people can fit in there.
Yeah, that's what T, because T said that. He said, man, did she say?
T was saying that.
Yeah, 2 or 3 people could, you know, fit back there where Stormi was at. But y'all did not tell Stormi the rules.
So when he come over there, because Tisha was like, you go over there and ask. I ain't finna go over there and ask her nothing. So he went over there and he was like, okay, this nice.
Well, I give Marsau credit.
What?
I give him credit. Yeah, how he did. Ooh, you look nice today. Ooh, you look young and everything. Try to bugger up first. Then hit her with the uppercut. Yeah. So I never got that $100 from you. You never sent that money. What happened? You got lost in the mail? She said, what money? The money for the rent, for the space. And, you know, Stormi had the right to be upset.
Yeah, she was like, what you talking about? Why you ain't tell me? Why you coming to me the day of why we doing this?
After I set up.
And then you didn't tell me this when we had the meeting yesterday or whenever they had. She was like, no, I ain't got no money. That's very low vibrational. Marsau is very low vibrational. So, no, I didn't, no. And so, anyway, Tisha come on over here and stuff. She was like, yeah. And so, he was like, yeah, I was telling Stormi about, you know, the money. And I told your husband is working low vibration because he should have told me this up.
No, but T, you know, Stormi, you didn't get what I was trying to do, did you? Hey, T, Stormi said, don't touch me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't blame her. And so yeah, it was very low vibration. Like, is that how you do business? You know, telling people something at the last minute to say, hey, they need to pay you after you didn't tell them they needed to pay you? Something should have been in writing if you was going to be a part of this. I'm sure all them other vendors in there, y'all wrote something out. They paid you ahead of time. You know what I'm saying? You make people pay you ahead of time. That's normally how it works.
Marsau, that was bad business practice right there, man. That's all that was, man. You know, hey, you got to eat this one, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If I was Stormi, I wouldn't pay nothing at all. At all. But anyway, on that note, you guys, that's all we have. That's it. That's all. We will see you guys on the next video. Don't forget to go with God and let God go with you.
Always put God first.
Deuces.
Hey! Always put God first.